Today we are doing a get ready with me for my engagements. Okay, I just got out of the shower. We have about 2 hours to work some magic to get me ready for engagement pictures. I am going to start with doing my lashes. I have still been using the Wink Click cluster lashes. I have a tutorial on my page if you need a little more in-depth video on how to put them on. But I have been loving the Habit style. One thing I will say, you have to be careful when taking these off so you don't damage your natural lashes. I like to do it in the shower when I'm under like hot water. Okay, halfway done with the lashes. Look at the difference. I love these lashes. Okay, the lashes are done. Now we're moving on to hair, and this is going to be quite the process. I've been testing out makeup and hair for the past couple days, actually probably more like a week. So this is the process I've come up with that works the best for me. I use this Intense Therapy from Pravana, and this is pretty much like a really good detangler. I have very thin fine hair that tends to get knotted and needs a lot of help in the volume department. So that is what this is gonna be. The next product I'm gonna go in with is this Matrix Miracle Creator. One of my friends who does hair actually recommended it to me because my hair was getting super staticky and I could not figure out why. So this is like a leave-in, it's a hair protector. It's like 20 different things in one, so you don't have to put too many products in your hair. But I just run this through my ends. The next product I am going to go in with is the Amika Plus Size. This is a mousse that is supposed to add volume to your roots. And I put like the smallest amount in my hand and just comb it through my roots because like I said, I have very thin, fine hair, and too much product will make it so like greasy and gross. I just comb that through. Once that is done, I'm going to blow dry. I have just been using my Olivia Garden with my regular blow dryer, but that thing is ready to give out. And I saw this Longe blow dry brush that a lot of people have been raving about. So we're gonna test this out. Literally, how cute is their packaging, by the way? I also have been using these little Velcro rollers to hold the very top section of my hair as I blow dry the bottom, just so I can get as much impact as possible from the volume. Now that this first section is dry, I put it in the Velcro roller and I'm just clipping it to hold that and let it sit for as long as possible. Okay, the last section that's going in rollers is done. Now I am just going to dry the base of my hair. First impressions on this, I love. I actually feel like your hair can get really dry on the cool setting and then give it a quick hit of the heat, and it is working so well. It's really hard to try to give yourself a blowout when you have really long hair. So this is making my job so much easier than trying to handle a hair dryer and a brush in both hands and my hair. So much easier. While this is sitting, I am going to go ahead and do my makeup, which I'm so excited about because I have done so many trials to figure out what works best for my skin. So I'm gonna hurry and spritz down with my hypochlorous acid. Last night I slept in one of these Medicube masks, which I feel like is the reason my skin is so glowy today. So I did a layer of tallow and then my mask, and then I slept in that, and I have not touched my face today. So I'm gonna hurry and do a quick little layer of moisturizer. This is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost one, and I like the water gel better than the water cream. My skin just happens to prefer that. Then I'm quickly going to go in with one of these teeny little razors and shave my face. I honestly should have done this sooner, but then it started getting closer and I didn't want to break out. So I was like, I'm gonna have to do it the day of. So that's why I like to spray down my face with hypochlorous acid, spray down the little blade. And I feel like this just makes my makeup go on so much smoother. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's not much because I usually stay pretty good about keeping up on it, but it makes the biggest difference in your makeup looking as skin-like as possible. Teeny bit more moisturizer just because the first layer I really use just to help the blade glide on my skin and not be like directly rubbing on it, so it has like a little layer. Now we are starting the makeup. I learned this technique recently. It's called underpainting, and you do bronzer underneath your foundation so that it looks more natural. So I am using the Too Faced cream bronzer in the shade Chocolate Mocha. And then I am using the bigger side of this brush. And you are just gonna put this any place you want to look contoured. At this point, I know this method looks crazy, but I promise, just stick with it. Next, we are going in with foundation, and I'm using the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk in the shade 2. And I do like the teeniest amount, and I'm just going to go all over that. And do the same thing on the other side. And then the forehead, chin, and nose. With whatever is remaining on my brush, I don't put any new on. I just kind of go right over those same spots, and I feel like you end up with a much more blended look, a lot more natural looking contour. Next, I'm going to go in with blush, and this is the Rare Beauty shade Happy, and I am just using the other side of that same brush, and I get some of it off on my hand because a little bit really goes a long way. And then I'm going to, whatever is left on my brush, put it on the bridge of my nose, and a teeny bit here and here, just above my brows. I know this feels out of order, but next I'm going to do concealer. And I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I love. This is my ride or die, and I'm in light 2. I feel like using each product in this order really just helps the makeup to like melt together and look so much more natural, and you don't get any of those harsh lines like so. That's pretty much the base of everything. I'm going to quickly hurry and fill in my brows, and then I will come back. I filled my brows in. I always use the Anastasia Beverly Hills pomade because I feel like it's really easy to control. You can do it as light as you want or as dark as you want, and it lasts a really long time because I feel like I would go through pencils like nobody's business. So the last step I'm going to do for makeup is to take a wet sponge and press it in. I'm not doing eyeshadow. I don't do eyeshadow on like a regular basis. And I know there are pictures, but I haven't done eyeshadow in a really long time, and it's just not really my vibe. Okay, now that that is really pressed in there, I am going to take out these rollers and curl my hair. Okay, I just took out all the rollers. Now I am going to section my hair and just flip that over. And I got this little powder. It's a root texturizing powder that just adds a little bit of grip to your hair and gives you a little volume, and especially where my hair is clean, it needs a little bit of that grip. I will say this looks better than when I was doing it with my blow dryer and my Olivia Garden brush, because I feel like I was just having so many flyaways when I did it that way. And this time I have some volume and I don't have a ton of the flyaways. And I will alternate my sections. My front pieces are always curled away from my face, and then I go towards, away, towards. Okay, I'm completely done with hair and makeup. I'm gonna clean my ring, I'm gonna lotion, I'm gonna brush and floss, and then I'll get dressed and I'll show you guys the final look. Okay, I'm fully ready. I'm in my first outfit. I also have a white dress that I will be wearing, but here's the first look. I'm not entirely sure if I should wear this necklace with the scarf or just let the scarf be its own moment, and I will show you guys some of our sneak peeks as soon as we get them. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.